Hello YouTube and welcome to the channel Anna Bella, and I'm going to be reviewing the film Judy, which has Renée Zellweger of Bridget Jones's Diary fame playing the legend and star of The Wizard of Oz known as Judy Garland. She obviously didn't just star in The Wizard of Oz. There were hundreds of other films and productions that she was famous for. She was also famous for her vocal talent. I don't know what it is at the moment that's going on in Hollywood, but it seems that we are going for emaciated A-listers with the Joker and Renée Zellweger. But what I really liked about her performance was it wasn't an imitation. She actually caught the stoop because Judy Garland had a curvature of the spine, and I thought that it showed the frailty and the fragileness of Judy Garland. And I'm really loving in post Metoo that it actually mentioned the abuse that she suffered as a teenager, particularly the pill popping and the control, the fact that she couldn't do things when she wanted to do. Her life was so regulated, they regulated when she could sleep. So this kid was on appetite suppressors to keep her thin, and she was also on sleeping pills, and she worked 18-hour days without lunch, even though an hour for lunch was in her contract. So I think that that's really important. The only company that I'm aware of that has that kind of control over their stars is Disney, but that's because they're minors and they can get away with it. It's October in the UK, and Fanta has brought out this really awesome dark orange, which is basically orange. It's got 2% orange and 1% blood orange in it, and I really like it. Unfortunately, I drank it before I could show the rest of it to you. I will be recycling this bottle, by the way. It's very important, just to let you know. Back to Judy. I really liked it. It focuses on the last portion of Judy Garland's life, where her glamour is still there, but she's a fading star. She can't get work because of her emotional and social problems, and it's quite clear that she is dependent on pills she took for but it also showed her snappy attitude. The fact that she said, what are you taking for the doctor said, what are you taking for depression? She said 4 husbands, but it didn't work. You can see that she clearly wanted to have a home and family life, and that wasn't going to happen. There was a lovely subplot featuring the LGBT plus community, which I really liked because she is an icon amongst the LGBT community, just so that you're aware. Yes, I'm wearing my snuggly knitwear because it is a bit cold today. The film was really well done. I liked the fact that it was quite simple. It wasn't overly showy, and that it focused on her and her relationships and how her life was basically shaped by decisions that were made by other people for a considerably long time. Do check out the movie. I'm going to give it 5 out of 5. I thought Renée Zellweger's performance was brilliant, particularly her singing. But what was amazing was the fact her use of her body language while she was singing, because you really did see the fragility of Judy coming through. The costumes were similar to what she wore when she did her London shows that ended in basically failure, but it was the costumes were inspired by, so they've taken them and they've made them their own, which I think is nice. They've also made it so that it is sort of a swan song, because 6 months after this tour finished, Judy Garland actually sadly passed away. Did I say that right? Yep, I did. And you just sort of see like her struggle, and even though it didn't work out the way she wanted it to, you still have to applaud the fact that she was able to put one foot in front of the other and go down that road, even though that was kind of like one of the film managers said to her, who was clearly being abusive. But it is important to just keep going. Check it out. It is emotional, and it does have LGBTQ or LGBT plus themes, depending on where you are in the world. In America, it's LGBTQ. In UK, it's LGBT plus, because we've got issues with the Q. I know it stands for questioning, but in the UK, it can also stand for queer, which people do not like to be referred to. So there's that. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was well made, and it focused on a lot of things going on in Judy Garland's life. It also focused on how that swan song in London was supposed to actually help her career and stabilise her. and it did for a while, but clearly her problems were all-consuming. Yes, she did have a fifth husband while she was there. She had a toy boy, and things didn't go so well with that either. But it doesn't mean that she didn't try. And I think that's really important. Also, I think that it actually gave validation to her two youngest children and gave them a voice, as well as her eldest child, Eliza Minnelli. And it was interesting to say that Judy was like, but you don't get anxious when you perform? And she was like, no. So that is kind of interesting, and it really does show how ingrained and how ingrained her problems, psychological problems, had become because of what happened to her as a young person and a child. I thought that was really quite interesting and also sad, because I've seen another earlier Judy Garland biopic which did focus on the same thing with the pills and various other things, but this is the first modern one that I have seen in a long while, and I do think it was actually needed. And it's interesting that Judy Garland called the English insane, even though we really like her music. Hope you've enjoyed this review. Sorry if it's a bit of a ramble. Do check out the movie because it is good, and please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.